what subject?
Science.
Nice. Okay, and paraphrase your ODE because it is a paragraph.
Alright. Plants and some microorganisms are producers. They are the foundation of a food web. Producers transform energy from the sun and make food through a process called photosynthesis. One-way ecosystems, populations interact is centered on relationships for obtaining energy. Food webs are defined in many ways, including a scheme of feeding relationships which reassemble a web. This web serves as a model for feeding relationships, a member of species within a biological community, and members of the species may occupy different positions during their lives. My personal goals are, the student will be able to complete one worksheet, then go over it with a partner, and draw a small food web on the back to 95% accuracy. The student will be able to, with a group, create a food web containing 10 to 15 organisms and apply a situation to the food web to 95% accuracy. And the student will be able to explain in their own words what would happen to the food web they created with the situation and cite examples of mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism to 95% accuracy.
It's going to be bit, y'all. Better be on your game today. All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today we have a birthday, and it is Seth's. It's going to be coming up in August 1st. Seth, what was your favorite birthday?
Probably the one I spent in South Carolina at Breslin Forest.
What happened there?
I got steak for dinner after we went to the ocean.
What was your least favorite birthday?
Probably the one where my dog ate my cake.
Man, that's not nice.
How'd that go? Was that not eventful?
My mom cried because she worked hard on that cake.
Aww. What's your favorite kind of cake since your dog ate it?
Funfetti.
Funfetti? Mine too.
Was it a chocolate cake?
No.
How would you like us to sing happy birthday to you?
Deep Grizzly Man was.
Alright. So we're going to sing Deep Grizzly Man Voices. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Alright, so now that we have celebrated Seth's birthday and we just finished the food chains unit, we're going to be moving on to food webs. Now food webs can get a little more intricate, but they are very similar to food chains. So we're going to watch a video that's going to compare and contrast the two. Alright?
Hey, RJ. Yeah, I'm letting Rhino have some recess today. I think he sees a cricket. Let's go, Rhino. Get it.
He's got it cornered next to that spider web.
Oh, he's scared.
Ow!
This is
Harsh! That cricket wasn't just Rhino's food.
Well, I thought crickets were a part of Rhinozilla's food chain. Doesn't that mean they're food?
Yeah, it does. Crickets are part of Rhinozilla's food chain, but spiders eat crickets too.
Okay, I'm with you.
Now, Rhino is an omnivore. Omni eats all. Rhinozilla eats meat like the cricket, and plants too. He eats it all. Pigs and chickens are omnivores too.
So are spiders omnivores?
No, not spiders. Spiders are carnivores. They just eat meat.
Alright, so Rhino is an omnivore, the spider is a carnivore. Yet the cricket is part of the spider's food chain and Rhino's food chain.
Exactly, which makes them both part of the same food web.
RJ, what is a food web?
A food web is a complex network of food chains in an ecosystem. It's like a web that shows how the food chains in an ecosystem are all connected. Rhino and the spider both eat crickets, so their food chains overlap. They're both part of the same food web.
So animals in a food web can eat the same foods, like crickets?
Yep. A food chain shows just one line of different levels of consumers, or plants or animals that get their food from other living things. But a food web is a lot more complex. Instead of just one type of producer, one herbivore, one carnivore, like on a food chain, a food web links many chains together, showing a whole ecosystem of many decomposers, producers, herbivores, and carnivores. It shows how animals and plants share food in their ecosystem.
So a food chain is just a straight line of connections, but a food web is, well, a web.
Right. On a food web, you can see how all sorts of animals' food chains are connected. Herbivores, like the cricket, a koala bear, a giraffe. Carnivores, like the spider, cheetahs, and lions. Omnivores, like rhinozilla, pigs, and chickens. They're all connected on the food web. So
the cricket wasn't just part of Rhinozilla's food chain. Rhino and the spider are part of the same food web, and that connects their food chains.
right. Organisms like rhino, a lizard, and the spider that share a food web are dependent on each other within an ecosystem.
A food chain is simple, but a food web shows the complex feeding relationships between organisms in an ecosystem. Many organisms make up each level of a food web: decomposers, producers, herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores.
You got it. But you don't got Rhino. Where'd he go?
Rhino? Rhino!
Found him. Look.
I guess now he really is part of the same web as the spider.
Very cheesy.
Alright, so we saw the video how it compared food chains and food webs a little bit. And it did a little review of carnivores and herbivores and omnivores. But if you take out the packet on your desk that I laid out,
RJ sent me pics from the zoo. Check this guy out.
Oh, rhinoceros!
same. We're going to go a little more in depth about the complexity of it. Alright, so a food web, and what does it do? A food web is a system of interlocking food chains. So all the food chains we did, they're going to interlock. It shows a transfer of energy along like a huge ecosystem. It shows complex feeding relationships between organisms and an ecosystem. So the video showed a great tie of this, of the reptiles and the spiders, how they have the same food web, but they're two different food chains. So what's included in a food web? The sun, producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. We learned a little bit about this with the food chains, but it's not going to hurt you to go over it again. Can somebody give me an example of a primary consumer? Seth? A grasshopper? Taylor?
Why would grasshopper be a primary?
Because it's going to be eating plants and other, how do I put this? It's going to be eating plants and not anything that's involving meat. Kayla, did you have your hand up?
I was just gonna say, like a ladybug.
A ladybug is a primary consumer. Anybody else? Could somebody give me a producer? Claudia? A flower. Flower is a very pretty producer. Kayla, do you have your hand up again?
A tree.
A tree is a producer as well. Can you tell me why it's a producer to you?
Because it doesn't get it. It tastes like how to say it. Trees take their food like from the energy of like the sun and like from the water and like the soil, and they don't eat other animals or human beings.
Yes, great explanation.
I didn't know how to say that.
Alright, so all of these organisms we're talking about how they're primary consumers, secondary consumers, tertiary consumers, they're all going to have complex relationships. So there's going to be a relationship of commensalism, when one organism is affected and the other is not. So an example of this is a whale and a barnacle. The barnacles will live on the whale, but the whale's not going to be affected by it. The barnacles may use it for transportation or anything like that. Mutualism is when two organisms work together, like a bee and a flower. A flower needs to be pollinated, and the bee needs food. So the bee is going to get on the flower, and it's going to take its things that need to be pollinated, and it's going to take it other places.
Teachers and students, pardon the interruption one last time. I need any senior who has not turned in their laptop at this time to report to the Cyber Lounge. Once again, any senior who still has their laptop needs to report to the Cyber Lounge with your laptop at this time. Thank you.
And the last relationship is going to be parasitism, which is one animal benefits and the other is hurt, like a mosquito in humans. Does anybody not like mosquitoes?
I hate
Why do you hate mosquitoes, Haley?
during the summer. They just crawl and lay on me and then they fight me or what, suck the blood out. And then I get these, instead, like normal people just get like tiny little bumps. Because I have like sensitive skin or something, the doctor says my skin like overreacts and then it gets to like this size, the mosquito bites. Like every single one.
So it's definitely parasitism then, because you get affected majorly. So what if something happens to an animal in a food web? If it goes extinct, it's going to affect the entire food web. It's not just going to affect that animal. A lot of animals will be affected, and plants included. There's also a thing called the domino effect. You may also hear about this in social studies, but it's completely different. The domino effect is if one organism vanishes or grows in a population rapidly, everything around the organism in the food web will be affected. So if the deer population decreases, then the food that it eats will increase, because not as many deer are eating it. Does anybody have any questions on that? Because I can get a little tricky. No? Yes, kid?
So without the deer eating, let's say, the plants will begin to increase instead of decrease because the deer is not there to eat them.
Yes.
Is that why, like in Ohio this year, we did shoot extra deer? Because it's
Yes.
so big this year and they're causing so much trouble.
Because it's affecting the food webs. So,
What happens to the animals that eat the deer?
the animals that eat the deer, if the deer decrease, then they start to decrease, because then they don't have as much food supply. If the deer increase, then everything after it will start to increase. Because if there's more food, then people will start having more babies, and then they start eating more and more and more. So,
But won't that cause the things the deer eat to decrease?
yes.
Then causing the deer to decrease, then causing everything else to decrease.
Well, if the food for the deer starts to decrease, then it will start to decrease. Does that make sense? That was a little confusing.
Dominoes, man.
Dominoes.
That just kind of hit me. You're right, Seth.
And it's a vicious cycle, buddy. And don't forget, energy moves upward. We learned this with the food chains, but it still continues with the food webs. So now that we have the facts on paper, we're going to put it to the test by playing Kahoot. So you guys can take your laptops, your phones, whatever you're going to play Kahoot on, pull a chair up to the front desk. Yes. You can pick your favorite animal, plant, anything on the put it in a food.
Our name's our favorite animal.
Oh, panda.
An otter. Can we do favorite animal and plant?
An otter.
No.
Panda Daisy.
Let's see.
What's
What's my favorite?
Hang on, I have to pull it up. I'm not even on it.
You can pick any animal or plant that will be included in
Or both.
or both.
Fancy.
Oh,
A foxglove, what's a foxglove?
It's a very poisonous plant.
really?
I was gonna say, I thought you could eat it for poison, I know it was an animal, but I forgot she's a big plant.
Eat an animal.
What's an NPS shark?
It's North Pacific Sea for sure, but it won't fit North Pacific Sea.
Why are you picking sharks?
I'm gonna put it all in. It's nice Komodo Daisy.
Does that mean I got kicked out?
Guys, this is an II, if you guys wondering.
That's your favorite animal?
No, I think it's so cool.
I think we have someone at this I wonder who Turtle is.
You know there's a such thing as a pink fairy armadillo? It's so cute. Is everybody in? No.
No, we need one more. Maybe.
10, yeah, we need 11.
Who are we missing? Are we missing anybody?
Missing Roswell.
We have 11.
We have 11, we're all set? Alright.
Are we ready? Really?
Okay.
Oh, look at the little paper.
What is the first trophic level in a food web?
I know it.
Oh, no. Dang it.
Trigger happy.
We're gonna use the vocab from food chains.
Third place.
Alright. So who chose the sun?
I did. I actually got
Oh. Alright. The sun is going to be the major supplier, but the first level of the food web itself is going to be the producer. Do we have
I'm tied with Seth.
did somebody choose the primary consumer?
Yeah.
Do you know why it's the producer now?
Yeah.
Alright.
You were like,
Who's what?
oh look, me.
Who's Roswell?
Me second.
Who's dragon?
Bull, whoever Panda Daisy is trailing.
Me. I'm trailing whoever Roswell is.
Which in this example of mutualism?
Uh-oh.
A bean, a flower, barren human, whale and barnacle, or human and
Oh, very cute.
Ooh.
Definitely very cute.
Wait, did you just look at me?
Oh, I think actually I did it.
Yeah, mutualism is for both.
I'm in sixth place.
I know I
Mutualism
mutualism
and
barnacle.
I got mutualism.
I probably picked the worst one. Whatever. I'm not the one who got it wrong.
Fourth place now behind Dragon.
People focus. Remember, take Seth down.
I got to accept
I'm still first.
It's okay, I'm in third.
Focus. Energy.
is one when one benefits the other.
Yeah, that's where I messed up. I forgot the barnacle.
Mutualism is when both benefit. So the
Oh,
bee and the flower are both going to benefit
So-
by the pollination.
I picked bear and human because obviously they would not benefit from each other because the bear would like to eat the
So-
human and technically we could eat the bear.
Russians eat bears.
For the whale and the barnacle,
Okay, hold on just a second. I have to do something with this parents. Go ahead.
for the whale and the barnacle, that's benefiting. Yes. I thought.
What's the harm? So what's the difference between commensalism and parasitism?
Parasitism is when one is hurt.
Harmed.
Yes.
So like the mosquito.
The mosquito. You gotta think like, remember Kaylee's story how the mosquito? Yeah.
Or the bear.
Could the human and the bear also be parasitic?
Parasitism? It could be, depending on the situation.
Okay.
Now, if you're in the woods and a bear is coming at you, then that might be parasitism.
Okay.
Plot twist too far. Got a cat bigger.
My dad was
Here's the answer.
they were learning from a grizzly bear.
Did you see on the news last night they were having trouble in the national parks in Yellowstone? Somebody found a baby bison and they put it in their car.
No.
They put it in their car because they thought like the baby wasn't like something was wrong with it, and they tried to take it to the rangers, but because people touched it, the mother shunned it and didn't want anything to do with it and wouldn't like feed it or take care of it, and they had to euthanize it because they tried 6 different times to like integrate it into a group. So they were like, do not mess with wild animals, because they were saying you mess up, they smell that and know that something is tainted and they can't like keep it together. Yeah, so they were like, no matter what, when you go to the national parks, they had to kill it. So they said like, don't touch any wildlife, don't go near any wildlife, don't touch their food, don't do any of that kind of stuff. So food webs could really impact that too.
Yeah, I know that happens with birds a lot too.
It's also really
Energy moves in which direction in a food web?
up.
Oh yeah!
I'm in
2 points behind you.
I'm in fourth. I'm
Wait for it, y'all. Wait
How
for
many
it.
points?
NPS.
I'm 3 points behind Seth.
I'm 1 point.
Inside voices.
1 point.
What is the second trophic level in a food web?
Oh no! Dang it! I got the wrong one. I was sure I did. Oh! Dang it!
in seventh place.
consumers, you automatically pick second truck club. But it is going to be the primary consumers.
Seth,
So
what'd you get?
does everybody understand that chose the secondary consumers?
I meant to do primary consumers, but I accidentally clicked secondary.
Who's
Yes.
dragon?
Noah. I'm okay.
Get it?
All organisms need what in order to live? You gotta think really hard about this one.
I was wrong. I think. No, I was right.
Still
Second place.
Okay, we got all 11 answers on that one.
No, Seth, no.
Mine keeps going like behind, like up there, like.
Come on, dragon. Come on, rose whale.
No, what? No, what? One is the
Seth
food
is
one.
good.
Who's the rose whale?
That's Becca.
Get it.
Second place. No.
Still
What?
not
Third place.
I am
No.
Who chose the show's animal families? Does anybody?
I'll swear it wasn't me this time.
Do you understand why it's a system of interlocking food chains, or do you want me to explain that a little bit? Alright, so it shows animals' families. If it shows it animals' families, say deer, it's going to be a whole chain of deer, showing the whole family. But if it's a system of interlocking food chains, like in the video we watched, it's going to be like the spider and the grasshopper, and then it'll be like the reptile and the dragon, or in the choke biter. I can't even speak. Grasshopper. Do you understand that a little bit?
Thank you. Let's go. No, is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
14.
A food web shows what?
I still go in 3, 2.
No.
Yes.
Oh, it's transfer.
Yes. Oh, that means the people behind me that are wrong.
I'm in 8th now.
Okay, I'm going off.
I'm in second.
I was in 11th.
Do we understand why it's transfer of energy? Does anybody have any questions on that?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're good. That was a little bit of a trick question.
That's all trans.
Oh no.
Here's manatee.
Manatee.
Did you see that manatees were taken off the endangered?
Yes.
Last week, so they're good.
Go, Steve. Go.
See what?
What comes after the sun in a food web?
I've never been in the top 5 on food ever.
Got that one.
I'm 7th right now, so I'm climbing up.
Komodo Daisy.
Alright. So it looks like 3 people chose decomposers. Decomposers are going to be at the very end of a food web. Do we understand why?
They eat balls.
They eat all. They eat anything ever.
Who's random?
Only got one wrong.
Awesome.
Everyone
Emily.
repeat back your knowledge.
Because I got one wrong. Uh-oh.
They all went red.
I know, so I did the meeting face.
Thank you guys. Alright. So now that we've tested a little bit of what we know, we're going to actually put it to paper. I'm going to draw sticks and we're going to work on a worksheet. And then after that, we're going to draw a food web on it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Start talking.
Yeah, and you're 94. The last time.
Every lesson so we can beat
Okay. Alright. So we have Hope and Seth. Emily and Ashley M. Paige and Becca.
Duhas willing. Agent, Duha.
Duha and Ashley C. And then we're gonna have a group of 3 of Noah, Claudia, and Kaylee. You guys can go ahead and get together and I'll bring your papers around.
Paige, where would you like to work?
Yeah, grab it, go.
I know, I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Once you guys are in your first, I'll come around with the papers.
I don't know what we're doing. Do I need to get my paper?
No, we weren't supposed to read.
Does everybody have a sheet?
Living things in the food web that are producers, grass and flowers. Living things in the food web that are consumers. So, everything. Yeah.
I'll give you about 7 minutes. You're gonna complete the worksheet with your part. Oh, okay.
Which things does the snake eat? The mouse and the rabbit.
Which living things does the snake eat? The mouse?
Everything. Eats rabbit, mouse, snake.
Which living things does the hawk eat? Probably the mouse. Because it's a mouse.
Well,
Mouse and rabbit.
I didn't think they would eat
Flowers and grass.
Are you guys alright?
What age are we? It's a good question. I wasn't in here. I don't know. I do. I'm so prepared.
Well, you're just gonna be backtracking. So it's gonna be Wendy first.
I'm sitting on my shorts,
Snake's gonna digest.
and it's red, but I know it's not
Not
like
really
period. Because I ain't started
And
yet.
maybe the energy from the mouse.
But Duha told me, and like I knew earlier, I just don't know what it is.
What are we supposed to do on this?
Oh, we're gonna wait. We're gonna go. Okay. I'm done. Consumers, anything that eats. So, living things in the food web that eats. So the first living thing.
what?
The rabbit eating the grass. Snake eats the mouse.
I can't tell you how many times I read that. I'm so sorry.
Hopefully we're gonna get by the end of June. So. You guys alright?
She said, oh.
Do we need about 2 to 3 more minutes?
Yeah.
I'm finished. Finito.
You know what? I'm not even gonna help you.
This is the music I meditate to. I love meditation. I want to go to one here.
Do we think 2 minutes is sufficient?
Gotta make sure.
I would be down with that.
This time it's 7
We get it back. So it's no problem, so the snake energy.
and go that way.
So that means it's
I am down for that 10 out of 10. And they have a sauna that is proven to help. I'm down. But if you don't like being hot, then not suggested. And it helps lower blood pressure. I wanted to try it. You're right.
Alright, can I have video? Paige and Becca come back in here while we go over the worksheet really quick?
always been.
So we're gonna go over the worksheet. Can somebody read question number 1? Do you?
Question number 1. Name the living things in the food web that are producers. Wildflowers and grass.
That's correct. So, Ashley, repeat.
For number 2, name the living things in the food web that are consumers. Rabbit, mouse, snake, and hawk.
That is correct. Does everybody have these answers so far?
Yes.
Someone read number 3. Who?
Which living things does the snake eat? Mouse and rabbit.
That is correct. Can somebody read number 4? Claudia?
Which living things does the hawk eat? The rabbit, the mouse, and the snake.
Yes. Seth, you want to read number 5?
What is eaten by the rabbit? Grass and wildflowers.
That is correct. Does anybody have any questions on those answers and why they were? No? Alright, so with your partner, you're going to go ahead and draw a food web, about 5 to 10 organisms, which include plants and the sun, and any animals that you can think of that are in your community. Go.
Start with the sun.
French fries count? Got potato.
Potato plants. Wormsy potato plants.
You can
Or apple trees. I want to make an apple tree. We don't have to draw the apple. What?
You can say grass too.
I wanna. I'm gonna.
He's pollinated. Let's look up.
Probably sad apple tree. It truly is. That's okay. I know, but they probably have apple tree. I'm gonna make a little wormy.
Let me look up though. Grass could be like anything, like a deer, like a mouse.
What else? What other?
What?
You can do snake
Birds
and
eat
hawk for that
worms.
one if you want to. I mean, no, you're making these things. I mean, I'll figure out what eats feet.
What else eat worms? Also, there are cats.
Eats.
Birds get eaten by cats.
And then there's,
I have 5, but this is definitely a food chain.
What?
Are you guys all right over here?
Woodpeckers.
Would a cat eat an apple?
Yes, woodpeckers. Eat bees.
Would the cat eat a worm?
But woodpeckers also eat. Woodpeckers also eat dragonflies,
I see. Kind of chasing.
wasps, hornets.
No, the worm gets eaten by the rabbit. Will also eat
Oh no.
Oh, I did it
look
wrong. That's okay.
What else do you want to look
The
up?
worm might eat the cat. Worms
What
are
else eats a rat
decomposers,
or rabbit?
okay, question. Will a raccoon eat a rabbit?
Hold on, let's look it up.
Raccoon eats everything.
Hold on.
Do you remember that time when I was locked in the bathroom for 10 minutes because there was a raccoon outside?
Owl.
I'm gonna do it on this.
Owl eats rabbits.
Yeah, they got
Do you see if they eat snakes?
Yeah, I think they do eat snakes.
Who?
Owls.
See.
Thank you.
I did a report on owls one time, and I thought
Oh, they
I
do.
was so
Oh,
cool
that's the main
for
thing.
doing
They
that
eat.
report.
Holy cow.
They had a book on it. Well, the snake ate the woodpecker.
Hold on. Different kill snakes, including hawks. Oh yeah, we already knew that. What eats woodpeckers?
European. Here, I'm gonna put another mini.
Does Seth eat woodpeckers?
You guys can also draw it kind of with this. This will be easier for you to see which one. Okay, so
They die mostly.
That's too much. That's
fine.
too much for me to handle.
Let's see. What else do we need to look up? What eats grass? Let's just do that.
but make sure you definitely get one of these.
You can go off to the side and put.
My sister eats grass.
Same.
Helps with your food web. So Then my sister eats grass, and that helps with your food web.
You can put either a cougar, a jaguar, or a lynx or deer, whatever one. Yeah, we have to have 10. So does oh, which side on this one say cougar? No. Cougar in our environment?
Does anybody have any questions? Need help?
Cougars are mountain lions, bobcats.
Ooh, these do. Okay.
What do you guys have down so far?
We're not doing it.
I have a worm, but it's not decomposing.
So you are the first year.
You can say we eat woodpeckers. No.
Don't forget, you guys can also throw in some decomposers if you'd like mushrooms. I'll give you guys about 6 more minutes.
What is the laugh I just did? Do you know the reference?
That's woodpecker. Woody the woodpecker.
Excuse me.
That's not the pitch perfect.
If you guys are done, do you think you could add some more?
No. You were my phone.
Guys, I really want to play that game again. That we played.
What game?
I found a wheel. Back and forth with the. I found a wheel that had a rip-off wheel.
Do you think 4 minutes would be alright? 4 minutes and we'll be done?
Yeah. I think we should play it. I'll appreciate it. Where's the wheel? Do you want me to cut it? You want a blanket? I'll get you a blanket.
And chicken.
I'm just kidding.
For what? For me,
I know what we could, like, probably our ancestors.
Protein and chicken.
Let me see.
The coyote's eating the chicken also.
Also, how many?
You just click 2 minutes.
Little baby dogs lately and taking.
I have to click it again to stop it.
Hard rock anthem.
It's okay, so they're hawks that eat chicken, right?
Yeah. Hard rock anthem. Do you have to say anything like hard rock anthem? Is that how it goes?
No, it's any song about that. Slam, slam. What a person to understand.
The Judds.
What?
Judds.
Like Judds? Like Ashley Judd?
How about ugly lead singer?
That.
Was it really?
I came like a wrecking.
No, they had like
I was
little.
screaming.
Teardrops stand and you not know it.
Did you hear me? I said I came in like a wrecking ball.
I think Miley Cyrus is so pretty though.
White Michael Jackson.
1 minute.
Wait, what? Wait, I was singing David Bowie. What did she sing?
Christian rock.
Oh.
Reggae time.
Chicken hawk. That.
Chicken hawk.
A chicken hawk got my hands on.
I don't know reggae.
Yeah, we had a chihuahua.
He was little and he like had a bad leg. Yep.
Songs
The
that
backyard
have
song
sex.
goes, and take it right over as a joke.
It's okay. I was talking
Yeah,
about
we had a
some
dog
other
named
stuff
Lucky
earlier
that
on
got
accident.
scooped up by a chicken hawk.
Are we all done? We're all set?
We can play this game later.
Come on, that you can't tell.
We played it at lunch.
Yeah.
If you can hear me, clap your hands.
Oh.
If you can hear me, clap your hands twice. Oh, alright. That's 3. Are we all set? We're all done?
Yeah.
Alright, does somebody want to come draw their food web up on
We do.
set?
We do. Yes, we do. Okay.
Is that you? Nice. Why'd you get a crown?
That's my hair.
It's very good.
I'm a princess.
That's a cow.
Who is that?
Does anybody have any of these animals so far?
I don't
A
know.
human, a cow, pig. Or a chicken? Does anybody have any of those animals yet? Do you have a cow?
Oh, I knew.
No. He just chose to be.
And fruits and vegetables.
It's a raw thing.
Does everybody have a decomposer on theirs?
No.
No?
No.
Can anybody think of a decomposer besides a mushroom? Ashley, what do you think?
Would a fly be a decomposer?
A fly?
He pukes on his food.
What'd you say? A maggot?
You didn't know that? They
Yeah.
puke on your food. No, they puke.
I'm actually not too sure. We'll have to look that up.
I thought maybe they are.
Worms?
What is it? Which ones are? No, what animal?
Butterflies? Butterflies are
They eat pollen.
I don't know. They eat. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. Somebody look it down.
I'm doing it right now.
I think you said.
They eat fruits.
It's kind of hard to see because it's on a very small scale, but do you think his food web is looking alright? If the air is going in the correct directions? With his grass, grains, and fruits going to the cow, pig, and chicken? And then his cow, pig, and chicken going to him? And then all the way going to a mushroom, which is a decomposer. Does everything sound alright?
Yeah.
Alright, let's gather at the back bulletin board, and we're going to tie in some of the notes.
What's up, Yuha? What's down?
Jesse was my best friend.
You don't need to turn it. Alright. Is everyone back here? So in the notes we were talking about extinction and how what happens to a food web whenever things disappear or whenever things decrease or increase. So now that you've made your own food webs, we're going to do that to yours. So I'm going to have one partner from each group come up and draw a slip out of each box. And it's going to be a situation that's going to happen to your food web. And then you're going to apply it to your food web. Make sense? Alright, so one partner from each group come and grab a slip out of a box.
Out of each box.
So just one. There will be 2 slips in each one. So.
Yeah, they're just race. I don't even think I'm trying to be it. Oh. What's his name? Oh, that's gonna crowd our bunny rabbit.
Alright, now you go back to your desk and apply it to your food web. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know.
So, which means the hot chicken hot dog.
Alright guys, roll. That's the side to put this in. So that will fill the rabbit and the squirrel.
It's gonna cut off our corn and our rice.
If you would like to use your other colored piece of paper to redraw your food web, you can.
Yeah, my apple tree is done.
At this point, I just have a worm and a cat, but the worm would also be living in the forest. So this would be dead. My cat would flourish, but also die out because the worm would be gone. Why are you getting rid of the worm? Because he's living in the forest. What are you telling me?
What's your guys' situation?
My whole food web just mine does.
The only thing that's affected is hogs.
But then everything else would
But technically, my vegetables that I added would be Claudia, which kind of also
Not really.
Okay. I found a fact.
And snakes.
The butterflies, they're not decomposers.
What am I thinking? Hogs eat snakes.
They consume only living things, not dead.
So it just turned our
Look.
Moms are.
chicken.
I just think moms
It
are
just
better.
flows through your whole food web.
As our butterfly and Claudia.
What's your guys' situation?
My entire food web just died. Everything is gone.
Only the hogs.
Only the hawks?
So
So
I
you can see how it flows through the entire food web. If something happens to one, it affects all. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
So RTO was talking about the butterfly situation, but
Yes.
It
Did
says-
you end up researching that?
yeah, and it said the butterfly is actually not a decomposer because it only eats living things. It doesn't eat dead things.
I actually did not know that. That's pretty neat. What's your guys' situation?
The woodpecker.
Your woodpecker goes extinct?
Yeah, it just cancels out the bees.
Just cancels out the bees?
Oh, and increase them. It makes them like
Increases.
this and kill everything else.
Your hawk would die out. Nothing really gets affected that much because I have snakes and coyotes eat everything.
Yeah. So you can see how it can be minimal and it can affect only a few things, or it can affect the entire food web. What's your guys' situation?
I can't think of the name of the song.
Once you finish applying your situation to your food web, on a blank sheet of paper, I need you to write and cite one example of commensalism, mutualism, and parasitism within your food web.
One example of commensalism. So commensalism is one definition.
Pardon the interruption. I need Jason Shirlow to the main office immediately, please. Jason Shirlow to the main office immediately. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't think I have any mutual. Well, here, mutualism.
What if we don't have a
Commensalism?
Yeah.
If it's not in your food web, can you think of one?
Whale and barnacles.
Besides the given examples.
Oh,
And the bird, the hippo and the bird.
no, it's rhino and bird.
Tails in the mouth.
Oh, yeah. Put that down.
If it's commensalism, go for it.
Rhino and bird.
Are you guys finding examples?
I don't remember what movie that's off of, but it has
Not yet. No, that's not it.
Probably like every movie that has
Try not to use the exact examples.
I don't need to put the The beer? Did you say beer?
Oh, I heard beer.
Beer.
This is relaxing.
They all died. Oh no, the vegetables.
What is the vegetable?
He was like, oh, we don't still use one. She says, tell the chicken. Or the chicken hawk comes down. She's not going to. It's like same. Okay. I got you.
Becca,
Becca, what time are we supposed to be at?
Did you ever look into
Can I look up to see if butterflies are decomposing?
What time is the...
They actually already researched it.
If you need to carpool, you can go to the
I'm driving.
Wait, so that means
Okay.
So we'll see you there.
Closer to Marshalls. My aunt filled me in.
What do I wear?
Is a flower a tree?
Like something very professional. Like, okay, for instance, I'm actually planning on wearing my outfit to make sure that for what my aunt said it is. That it's actually a dress, and I have a jean jacket with it, and I'm gonna wear a nice slip-on, like nice professional flats. You have to dress kind of professional because you are in a lot of photos because you're ushering the seniors around.
Are you guys alright? Staying on topic?
Yeah, we are.
What are we supposed to be doing when we're finished?
When you're finished, sit tight and we'll go over to class.
Okay.
Does everybody have examples?
Chicken off.
No, I said.
Well, technically, also needs.
Welcome to the life of a chicken hawk.
I'll give you one more minute and we'll discuss our
You want to
examples.
see the cartoon version? I bet you've seen the cartoon version of him. Chicken hawk.
What's that from?
I don't know, it's off the shelf.
Foghorn Leghorn. From Looney Tunes. Oh, that's right. I was like, I know I've seen it before. I just
That's
don't remember
Doug.
where.
The chicken.
I
The
said
chicken.
son?
The
Is
rooster.
everybody
Doug.
all set? And have all eyes? Are we still working on that? No? Alright, does somebody want to give me an example of commensalism that they found in their food? What?
Said the sun and our breaths.
Alright, any examples of mutualism? Who?
Said the deep almonds flowers.
Yes. Can we think of one that's a little outside of the examples that I gave?
Did you get that example?
Yes. Can I go ahead and lay it over to Claudia? Claudia.
What is the decomposer in the earth we want because the decomposer is getting food and the earth's getting nutrients?
Yes. Do we have an example of parasitism? Who?
I said fleet on a dog.
A flea on a dog.
Set by humanity.
Does anybody have any questions?
Sad. You know you love that, but.
Anybody have any questions of anything we've learned over
Second
today?
humanity.
And just to clarify that we did talk about earlier, Becca had researched it, and butterflies are not decomposers. They only eat living things.
What kind of living?
So, any questions? Any questions? None? Alright, tomorrow we're going to be working with a ball of yarn, and we're going to be making our own food web with the yarn.